where essentially this guy named Ian Garry, an Irish prospect an Irish prospect in the MMA right now, that has married this woman that wrote a book on how to be a wag. Right? I mean, let's figure out how to be a wag real quick. Yes, get this book called what? What is this book called again? How to be a wag. All right, let's just fucking get into this. Ian Garry, right? He's a up and coming Irish prospect, very young, very naive. The whole goddamn 10,000 yards, right? But here's the thing with Ian Garry, right? Me and him are almost similar in age, and I'm about 5 times smarter than him, maybe 20 times. Maybe I would go so far as to say about 67 times actually. I'm about 67 times smarter than Ian Garry, right? I actually can understand. I can understand getting. It happens to every man. It will happen to every man if they're given that opportunity, right? If you're in a situation when you're up and coming and you're destroying people in the MMA, and you've been a fighter your life, and some very attractive woman comes up to you and say, "Hey, guess what? First of all, if a very attractive woman comes up to you and says, "Guess what? Let me suck your dick," or something like that, you're gonna say yes as an MMA fucking fighter, right? We're not the top tier, intellectual men. That just ain't how it is. The people that fight, we're obviously not very smart, but we're also not dumbasses, right? Like Ian Garry is. Because what happened here is that Ian Garry, he didn't just fall for this trap where he got married to this woman, which is one thing, right? But he fell for the inevitable trap. Because I say inevitable again, because this motherfucker's brain is like, this trap has to involve Ian Garry's wife's ex-husband. Yeah, I can't believe I just fucking said that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Without a shadow of doubt, absolutely. So what's happened here? I'll tell you what's happened here, actually. Ian Garry's wife's ex-husband is living with Ian Garry and his wife. Yeah. You think I'm joking? I'm not joking. I swear to God, it's the genuine truth. This woman actually wrote a book on how to be a wag, which I thought wag stood for. I don't even know what fucking wag is, right? If somebody came to me and said wag, I would think they were calling me a beaner and some different legal or something like that. But it's not actually that at all. Matter of fact, what wag is wife and girlfriend, right? And this woman wrote a book. This woman named Layla, she wrote a book on how to be a wag. And Layla, who was Ian Garry's wife, talked about like 6 different rules of life and how to be a wag, where she was talking about how eventually you get with the guy. The most important thing in the world is that you get with this guy and you get that fucking ring on your fucking finger and it's so great. Once you get that ring, what ends up happening is you're with this guy, and when the time comes, divorce. And then what happens? You get all that lucrative, money-hungry, cheesy fucking limestone money, right? That real genuine hero of life. That's what you get. Hundreds of it. Hundreds of it. But that is the ultimate accomplishment of a wag, right? You could be a wag, you could be a girlfriend, you could be a wife. But a wag's always the best opportunity. It's the best thing. My message to Ian Garry. Let me just say this. My message to Ian Garry. Ian Garry, do what you want. Do what you want. You are a man. Ian Garry, do what you want. You are a man. Absolutely. I can look at that from the highest level ever. Ian Garry, you are an upstanding man. You're not. You're the biggest cuck I've ever fucking seen in my life. Because it's one thing to marry a woman while that woman's going around, sneaking out behind your back, fucking all these guys, and you still don't know what to do. Because it's one thing when you marry a girl and you let that girl fuck someone in front of you. But when this girl is your wife and she invites your ex-husband to stay with, and she invites her ex-husband to stay with you and her and their daughter, and you simply just say, yeah, ultimate cuck.